Hey FlossTube, it's Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching, in a new location. It is Friday, July 1st, 2022, and this is now the third state I have lived in the last 8 weeks. So, welcome. Thank you to those who are returning. Come back to cook on me. I know it's been quite some time, so thank you for coming back to say hi, and welcome to anyone who's new. I really appreciate you checking me out, and hopefully you find something you like. Life over the last 8 weeks has been a little crazy. Thank you to those who have wished me well and good luck, and to me and my whole family over the last 8 weeks. If you are just here for the stitching, then I will put a timestamp in the description box where I start showing cross stitch. So if you're not interested, totally understand, go on and click on down to the time, because I have no idea how long this section will last. I'll try to keep it brief though, because we are here for the cross stitch. But basically, I was last here on April 4th. So I guess it's actually been closer to 12 weeks since I've been here. Dave has lived in 2, I've lived in 3 states. So he graduated from medical school the middle of May. We had a whole weekend. He had technically two graduations because he is in the Navy. And so he had his promotion ceremony on Friday. He is now a lieutenant. And then we had the actual medical school graduation that Saturday. So it was a fun-filled weekend. A lot of family and friends came in, and we just had a great time celebrating him and his accomplishments. And then my parents pretty much lived in Auburn the month of May. They were angels and helped us completely pack up our house. The Navy, it didn't work for the Navy to move us, so we had to move us. And my parents were amazing and came and helped us pack our entire house, get it on a moving truck. Dad and David played amazing Tetris and got everything up to the edge of the truck. We got a 17-footer and somehow we filled that thing, and we sold a lot before we moved. We sold our couches, we sold our extra bed, we sold our dining chairs. Haven't got new ones yet. And just, it was crazy. So, and then I actually, I had to take my medical boards in Atlanta. So I moved to Atlanta at the same time David and my parents went on up to Virginia. So I lived in Atlanta for about 3 weeks, almost a month, with my parents, and that was amazing. Not many 25, 26-year-olds can move back in with their parents, but I was able to. We just kind of fit back into our routine. I kind of felt like I was just like home for the summer from college, but studying. It worked out. So they work full-time at home, so we would all be working during the day and then catch up for cocktail hour and dinner in the evening. I would occasionally come down for a brain break and say hi, and we had fun. We went to a few breweries, shopping, restaurants, quilt. There was a quilt function going on that I went to with my mom and dad. We had a great time. I don't have many times with them that's just me with them, so that was really nice. And then took my exams. I found out yesterday that I did pass them, so thankfully that all worked out. This year, first step, so this is just the first round. I have 3 rounds before I'm officially a doctor. This is just the first round, and this first round is just pass-fail. So I just had to pass it, and I did. So yay, I can officially breathe and feel like I officially am done with that. So now I am a 3rd year and start in August. And David, so he had to move up by June 1st because he started residency. Today is his official first day, but on June 1st they had to do all this training and paperwork and fitness tests. The Navy requires a lot of fitness tests. I feel like every day he was like, well, I gotta go do this fitness test. I'm like, didn't you just do one? He's like, yeah, but it's different. And I don't know, I have a lot to learn when it comes to the military. So, but I moved up actually on Father's Day. So I took my 2nd exam. I did take the MD one and the DO one. And so I took the last one on my birthday, June 17th. Happy 26th birthday to me. It's fine. And so I took that, and then had Saturday, Mom and I did a lot of crafting. And then on Father's Day, that Sunday, we met up. So there's a brewery, not exactly halfway, but like 5 hours from my parents, 3 hours from here. And we met up there with David. And so David got to spend Father's Day with my dad, and we kind of all got to be together for a few hours. And then I left with David with all my stuff and our new car. He surprised me with a new car. My car had lived its life. It was a great life, but it was definitely time for a new one. And so I knew we were going to be getting a new car, and we were able to figure that out. And so he had showed me a few ones, but I didn't know he was actually like getting it. And then he showed up in it. So that was very exciting. And then so we came back, and then I've been here since the June 19th. Sort of. And then I was in a wedding. One of my bridesmaids last year for my wedding, she got married over the same weekend. And so I went down. I was in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So David unfortunately had mandatory things, so he wasn't able to go. But I went down for her. Very beautiful. It was a wonderful wedding, and we had a great time in Chapel Hill last weekend. And then I actually came back. So thankfully the reception didn't go too late. I actually came back that night on the 25th because our 1-year wedding anniversary was on the 26th. So I wanted to be here the whole day. I didn't want to be driving back without him on our anniversary. So I drove back late, which worked out fine. It's only 3 hours from here. And we had our 1-year anniversary this past Sunday. So that was great. Went to the beach because I can do that now. Like, this beach girl finally has a beach you can go to. And went to the beach, and then had a nice dinner at Cooper's Hawk, which is like a winery restaurant place. And then this week, just getting unpacked, getting settled. We went from a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house to a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. So storage and space has been fun figuring out. I think we were fortunate enough to get a garage though. So they do have separate garages that's really close to the apartment for our car. And then we use that kind of as our storage unit as well. Like Christmas decorations and coats, winter clothes, like that's all out there. But our house that we were living in had like a lot of closets and like linen closets. And this has like, we traded linen closets for wall space. Tons of walls, no closets. So we've been getting creative with our storage. We each have our own closets here. So he has a closet and I have a closet because there's not a closet big enough for all of our stuff. So it's been fun. But we are, I guess I should say kind of where we are if you're new here. So he is in the military, he's in the Navy. So we are in like the Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Portsmouth area. Technically we're in Suffolk, but Suffolk, I've learned, is huge in Virginia. It's a very large area. We're in the northeast part of Suffolk. So it's only 15 minutes for him, and then I'll be doing my 3rd year clinical rotations at Riverside in Newport News, which is only like, well, as people tell me, I have to cross a tunnel, so I don't actually know how long my commute is, depending on if people were smart or stupid that morning. But theoretically, it should only be a 20-minute commute for me. So. But I'm planning on leaving early, and he always has to leave early, and I'm up when he's up, so I don't think it'll be too much of an issue, but excited about that. I thankfully don't start till August 1st, so I have all of July to cross-stitch my heart out for one thing, and then also to kind of just get settled, get to know the area. It's a very large area here. We went from a teeny tiny little rural town of Auburn, Alabama, to now the Virginia Beach area, and there's a lot here, which I'm glad about, excited about, but I just gotta learn it. Tanky's doing well. He was a little slow to adjust, but he's getting there. Let's see if I missed anything in my life over the last 8 weeks. Let's see. Don't think so. I think that's most of my my overall life update. Like I said, David's first official day is today. He does get for this first month, he gets weekends off. So he'll be here. So it's like he had to start on a Friday, and then he's gone for potentially 3 days. He finds out today if he actually has the 4th off on Monday. We're not sure yet. So yeah, we are doing well. It does feel good to finally be here and be done with boards. You probably saw at the beginning of this video that I have a new intro, thanks to my dad who made a logo for me. I had given him like just some general, like, I want it to be blue, I want it to have something about the beach because that's like my thing, you know, and he knocked it out of the park. The Georgia Girl logo is just perfection, and I can't thank him enough for that. So I did incorporate that kind of into a new intro, and I don't know all the different ways that I'll be using the logo, but for one thing, it will definitely be on my logo for like my Georgia Girl Floss Tags that I'm doing. If you use Floss Tags and are interested, I'll link my Instagram down below. I sell them for, if you're domestic, it's $5 for 15 of them, and it's like made out of cardstock. But yeah, so that'll be down below. But yes, so new logo, new location, just a lot of new car, a lot of new right now. Haven't fully even like processed all of the changes that have happened over the last 2 months, 3 months, but all good things, just new. I think that's all of life. I didn't want to go too much longer than 10 minutes into that because, again, we're here for stitching, and I have stitching. Stitching was my, as it always has been, was how I kept my sanity over all of this. I forced myself to stitch every day, even if it was just for 5 minutes. I just had to turn my brain off, and like, because studying, you know, especially when we got into June and it was like real crunch time of, okay, I take these exams in 10, 15 days. I definitely needed that like relaxed time and not let the anxiety and the stress get to me. So I do have stitching to show you. I also really want to get some of my goals done on my WhipGo because I had neglected WhipGo a little bit. So WhipGo is the brainchild of Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and she has a whole video on it if you're interested. I made some pretty big goals that we'll see, but some I was like, I think I can actually do this. So I decided to focus on some of those and get some finishes. So I have 2 finishes to show you. The first one is Let's Do Wine by Imaginating from an Ursula Michael. And I fell in love with this pattern when I saw Pam from Just Keep Stitching. She did this pattern. She's a fellow wine lover and absolutely fell in love with it. She did warn, well, she warned the world because it was on her video, but she also told me when we were at Keepsakes one day that these grapes suck. Well, not her words, I'm paraphrasing, but they're very intense, and that's just, it's a ton of back stitching, ton of kind of confetti. And she was not kidding. It was a lot. It took me longer to do the grapes than the back stitching the entire bottle. But as you'll see, I omitted the border, and when I finished these grapes, there was no way in heck I was doing those grapes. I was done. So, so I just have the bottle and those grapes, and I am in love with it. I have no idea how I'm gonna finish it, but here it is. So do a distance. This is on 32 count Fortnight Fabrics. It was a fabric of the month. I was part of their club for a few months. I don't remember if this was late 2019 or early 2020. I'm not quite sure. It was 2019-ish. They didn't have a name, and I don't remember what month it was from, but it's perfect. I was, like I said to them, I wish I could get like a yard of it so that I could just use it for all of my wine. It has that perfect like aged parchment look, but here, I'll do a close up of the stitching and those grapes. Oh. But it definitely was worth it. It's gorgeous. And honestly, the back stitching really did not take that long. I was amazed at how fast, once you get started, at how fast it goes. So this is a WhipGo goal done. So I started this during Mania of 2020. So it was kind of one of those, like, it's time to get that done. It's time to get that done. So I don't know if I'm gonna frame it or find some kind of like wine decor to finish it on top of. Not quite sure. And then my second finish, which I have not posted yet, but I will shortly. Instagram, I gotta catch up on my Instagramming. But it is Hands-On Design Memorial Day. this entire kit, so it's the pattern, the sulky threads, and then also the fabric. Jen from Keepsakes, I miss you. She completely bought this for me right before I moved in 2020 to Auburn, and I absolutely loved this pattern. So this was a May whip go call to finish, and I did. So the thing is, I did make a few changes, naturally. This is on 32 count corn flour from Fiber on a Whim. I wanted kind of like a sky look for it. It's called for on white. And because of that, the stars and the flags are not, there's nothing called for on them. They're all, it's just blank because it's white fabric, so it'd show through for the white stars. Well, I did it on blue fabric, so I'd have blue stars. So instead of that, I did white beads for the stars. And if you're interested, I can find they're Mill Hill beads. I can find the number if you're interested. But they're just basic white beads. So it kind of adds a little dimension to it, which I liked. And then I did do the etching on the flag. So I didn't make any change. I didn't change any colors or anything. I used the sulky pack. I just added the white stars, and then I omitted, there's these like white Smyrna stitches around the flowers. I don't know if you can see that. I feel like my piece is a little blurry. I don't know if you can see, but there's like these white Smyrna stitches. I'm not quite sure what those are. I felt like these were dandelions, and those are supposed to be like the fluffs, you know, the floofs coming, whatever those are called, coming off of the dandelions. And I liked it on the white fabric because they kind of like blend in, but on the blue fabric, I was concerned they would be a little distracting. And I just didn't think that they were really needed. So I omitted those on my pattern. Also, I got to that point, I was like, you know, I'm done. Like, I'm done with this piece. I want to be done with it. So it went really fast as well. The sulky is the equivalent of 2 DMC threads. So you don't have to, like, it has the coverage of 2 strands, but it's 1. So it goes quick. It's like you're using just 1 strand. So it goes quicker. You don't have to worry about, you know, like if they're twisting or, you know, you just stitch and go. And so there it is. Again, I don't know how I'm going to finish this, but I love it. And it's perfect timing for 4th of July. I know it's a Memorial Day piece, but patriotic. So loved that. And then, so those are my 2 finishes. And I have like 3 more finishes on my whip go board that I need to do. So we'll see what I can get done for the next one. I do enjoy having finishes. They always talk about there's 2 types of stitchers. There's the product and progress stitchers. Like progress stitchers, they just stitch for the joy of stitching. You know, it's just it's about the process, or process stitchers. It's about the process of stitching. I fall closer into the product stitchers. Like I stitch things with a purpose. Like I see it on my wall. I know where it's gonna go. I find a lot of things cute and I really like a lot of things, but I don't stitch it unless I like see where it will go in my house or as a gift. So I love having, like, I love the feeling of finishes. I know. And then I had 2 starts, which I know I'm not supposed to, but one is a restart and one was an anniversary piece. So I restarted Hammock at Sunset. I had started this in Mania 2020. This is by Stitch X Cross Stitch Designs, excuse me. And I haven't talked this much in a while. So I had this as a paper pattern. That's where this came from. Paper pattern I'd bought 2020, and I started it on 18 count Fiddler's Ada, 2 strands, oatmeal, kind of like that's what a lot of people I heard had done. And I liked it. It was a good coverage, you know, but it just, I never wanted to work on it. Like I had it for 2 years and I had like maybe 400 stitches in it. Like I never wanted to pick it up because it was such a hassle. There's a lot. I had started the parking and But now I have Pattern Keeper. I didn't have Pattern Keeper at the time. Now I have Pattern Keeper, and I know the beauty of Pattern Keeper, and I just never really wanted to pick it up. So I looked, and on Etsy, I found from the same designer, I found a PDF pattern of it. It's like $4 or something. I think it was even on sale. It might have only been $2. I was like, you know what? It's worth my sanity. I bought the PDF and uploaded it into Pattern Keeper. It's like, okay, so now I don't have to worry about the paper pattern, but I was like, I still don't want to do like the 2 strands. It just, I don't know. I just wasn't ever going towards it. So I decided I love 1 strand work. Like just the beauty of, that's why I love 40 count so much, just being able to use 1 strand. So and you can use 1 strand on 18 count, but for me, I love full coverage. Like I don't want my fabric to show through. That's my personal decision, preference is I don't like fabric showing through. So what I decided to change it to is 22 count Ada with 1 strand. And so this is how far I got when I restarted it. And this went so much faster and it was so much more enjoyable. And it just, I was able to cross country, like it just, so you can see kind of how the hammock, or like how the hammock is starting to come through. It'll be a lot smaller. It'll be very, very small, but I think it's great. I'm doing one strand, I'm doing a full cross. So, I know a lot of people will do like 2 strands, tent stitch on 20. I think that's Stitchin' Mommy does that. And hers always look great. So that's definitely an option. If you like the 2 strand, but only want to do a half stitch, that's definitely an option. I enjoy the 1 strand, but the full cross. And that's where we're at. So my whip go goal for this is to do an entire page. And I think I'll be able to do that relatively quickly. So with this new method and with Pattern Keeper. So I am also using the Stitchin' Mommy technique, the typewriter, I think is what she calls it, where you start top left, you start in the top left corner, find the symbol, complete the thread with that symbol, and then go to the next symbol and either complete the thread or complete the color. I was, because I'm just doing it page by page with a little bit of like feathering just so there's not harsh lines. I'm doing color completion on that page when I have the strand. So that's why there's so much orange, is like it was called right here and now and there's actually more. I'm not done with the orange. I'll pick that back up when I pick it up. But yeah, I'm now enjoying it a lot more. Now I can see myself actually working on it. So that was the restart. And I got the 22 count idea also from Stitchin' Mommy, because she's doing she's doing a lot of patterns, but the one right now, Knitting Woman, is gorgeous, and she's doing that on 22 count Ada, and that's where I got that idea. I was like, well, she's making it work, so I'm gonna give it a try. And I know Carolyn at Seazook Stitch is also, I don't know if she's actually tried it out yet, but she was considering trying out the 22 count Ada for full coverages as well. So if you're able to see it, I think it's a great option. If you just like the 1 strand, look, a 20 count Ada could work too. 22 is just easier for me to get for some reason. Okay, so now I have a new start, and I haven't posted about this one yet either. I will after the video. I saw this pattern on Etsy quite a bit ago, and people have posted like progress on some of their other patterns. And it's called Ink and Type Co. on Etsy. I'll link all this down below. But they're actually a print store on Etsy. So they mostly like sell prints of quotes or different things. But one of I don't know if it's an owner or cross stitches. And so they've been converting their prints to cross stitch patterns. It's mostly typography. And I don't know why this came up. I think this just came up as a recommended on Etsy and they got me. But I fell in love with it. I'll post a picture here of what the print looks like, because they don't have really a good cross stitch like demo of what it would look, the model. But this is what the print looks like. And I am stitching it on a piece of fabric that Barbara from Keepsakes gifted me last year. It was like a wedding gift from Barbara, and she said it reminded her and would hopefully remind me of the water at the Keys. So we got married and honeymooned in the Florida Keys last year. And so I was like, well, and even when she had given it to me, I was like, well, I gotta do some kind of wedding or love or anniversary. Like I earmarked it for something like that. And she was correct. It does definitely remind me of the Florida Keys water. And so I found this pattern. I decided, okay, I didn't do a birthday start, which I had originally given myself a birthday start. But once I got done with those boards, I didn't even go home till like 5 o'clock. And I was like, I'm done. My mom and dad had like dinner and alcohol ready for me. And I was like, there's no cross stitching happening tonight. So I pushed to my birthday start, and now I changed it to anniversary start. So on Sunday, I started this, and I'm using B5200 as the floss. And here it is. Oh, it's coming across pretty well. It's a little bit more green than that, but that's close enough. The fabric is just absolutely gorgeous. And the pattern does work in Pattern Keeper, so very grateful for that. Maybe if I bring it back, yeah, that's the correct color. It's like a little bit more green, but I'll bring it up closer so you can see. It's big. This is on 40 count. I don't know if I said that. This is what the fabric actually is. It is a 40 count from Steel City Stitchers. So I believe that means it's a Jody fabric, and it doesn't have a name or anything. It just said 40 count SCS, Steel City Stitchers. So I think Barbara bought this at StitchCon last year because it came around StitchCon time. So I could be wrong about that, but I know that they're at StitchCon. But yeah, so I think Pattern Keeper said I'm already at 50%. It goes by quick. I did work on this every day this week. I just kind of was like, well, I'll just use this to finish out June before July Whip Go really gets started. So I have forever and and so I'll say forever and ever, amen. I won't frame it. I didn't want to like not waste, but I didn't want to use a lot of the fabric for the framing, because like in the frame on the print, this is like in the center, and then you have a lot above and a lot below. I didn't want to use all of the fabric just for that. So I did do like the 3 inches from the top, and then I don't know, I don't know if I'm going to frame it or finish it on something else. I don't know, but I love it. And thank you again, Barbara, for this gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. Okay. Now I have only one more project to show you, and it is a whip. And it's one that you will see for almost probably every video until it's done. My patchwork. So this is Patchwork by Jan Hootman. I'll put the pattern in. But what I'm doing looks nothing like, I don't know if you just heard Tank snore. Looks nothing like the pattern. I am doing a complete color conversion inspired by both Diane at the Quaker Addict, I'll put her Instagram down below, and Brandie at Cooter on a Log, her little turtle. And we, last year at StitchCon, so StitchCon 2021, Diane had done a rainbow conversion of the colors, and Brandie saw it, fell in love with it. And then that, like, and Brandie said that she was going to be starting that kind of like using Diane's conversion or close to it. And that inspired me. I was like, I never thought about like completely converting colors like that on a Quaker. And I got inspired. And so I completely changed it to beach colors. So Brandie and I started this last summer, and it's #ProjectHappySal. So if you're working on this, or really if you're working on anything that just makes you happy, it's your project happy, that's the hashtag that we're using. And I completely finished the teal section, and my magnets just, and here it is. Oh, I just love looking at it. It was so easy just to like pick this up and go. I just love looking at it. So I have 3 corners now. Those are the corners, so it'll be done. So it'll like go to like right here. So now all I have left is the darker blue section. And for me, it's the way I was designing the colors is to do diagonals. So when you're looking at it, the colors are kind of gradation in diagonals. It's not perfect, but but water's not perfect. So let me bring it up closer so you can see the different, especially the whites come across as hard to see. You know what, let me just. And if you're interested in what any of these colors are, I'd be happy to share. There's a lot now. So just let me know if you are. It's a lot of color and cotton, I gotta say. I absolutely, actually I don't have it with me now, but part of my haul would have been like 5 or 6 color and cotton blues. I like, every time I go on their website, I get more. And then I am also part of their Thread of the Month club, and they always have at least one blue, or I shouldn't say every time. A lot of the times they have at least one blue, and I end up incorporating it. So, all right, one more time. I just love it so much. This is on 46 count flax. And this needle minder was a gift from Brandie as part of our, so in Diane's and also will be Brandie's, they used a Beatles quote, "Here Comes the Sun." And so that's what they put here in the, so that space, that long rectangular space is gonna be a quote, and theirs was "Here Comes the Sun." And so she got "Here Comes the Sun" needle minder for me. Mine is going to say "Sky above, sand below, peace within" is what mine's gonna fit there. I haven't quite figured out which colors. I found actually in my stash, thankfully, a Weeks Dye Works. I should have looked up the color. I don't have the color with me. But I mean, you'll see it because I have to stitch with it. It is a really great gradation of like beige to light blue to dark blue. And so I'm gonna use that as the border around the rectangle. And then for each part of the quote, I'm gonna have one of these colors in it. So like the sky above will be my favorite teal. Sand below will be my, I shouldn't say favorite because it won't be favorite, but it'll be colors that go well together. So sky above will be from the teal section, sand below will be from the white section, peace within will be from the dark blue section. So I don't know what those colors are gonna be. But my dad had a good point that it needs to be colors that kind of like are more subtle, that don't have stark variegation, just so they, like, you can actually read the words. Because sometimes it can be hard to read words if there's a really stark variegation. And then also they all need to like play well with each other. So that'll be my final figuring out. Once I have it all stitched, I'm not gonna play with it at all until I have it all stitched, because it's hard to tell, you know, what looks best until it's all there. So I have not figured out what my dark blues look like yet. I have a ton, but I have not actually like placed them to figure them out. I had to redo that part like 4 or 5 times. There's this corner up here. Where is it? This top part took me about 5 tries. I redid this thing twice. And I redid, there's another one I did a couple times just to get, because like it just wasn't working. Like the colors weren't playing well together. So that was a, thankfully it wasn't a huge motif, but this is the kind of project though that like I will keep redoing it until it's right. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game when it comes to conversions. It's hard to tell just on the skein what it's gonna totally stitch up as, you know. I do try to pull just one strand, so when I'm like placing them and trying to play with them, I pull just the one strand to kind of get an idea, but it's still hard to guess. So I will keep redoing things. And I even said, I was telling my mom, I was like, I get to the point that if I get to the end of this and one color just sticks out of just being wrong, at the end, I'll take it out and redo it with a color that I think is right. Because this is something that I want to always look and be like, I want to be proud of it and not be like, oh, if only I had just done that one, you know, differently. Like, I don't want to think that. So even when I finish it, it might not be done. We'll see. But those were all of my cross stitch pattern or pieces that I have worked on over since April. So that's everything since April, which is why it seems like a lot. I've done a lot since April. So now my plans. Like I said, I'm doing WIPGO, and so our WIPGO numbers got called a few days ago, and One of the pieces that got called for me was Celebrate Winter, which is Madame Chantilly tray. But I also have on my whip go board Celebrate 4th of July, which has not gotten called. So I'm gonna do a little executive decision and switch those for this month. So since it's July and it's the 4th of July weekend, I'm actually gonna work on my 4th of July tray. And then once I get to the end, if I have time or feel like it, you know, I'll still pull that Celebrate Winter out, but I'm gonna executively switch those. So this is what that looks like. Celebrate 4th of July, Madame Chantilly. And so my yearly goal on this is to just finish the tray. I started this back on New Year's Eve. I was part of Pam and Kia from Kia B. They did a 12 by 12. So start 12 projects by midnight on New Year's Eve. So you have 12 by 12. I did that. I started 12 patterns. It was like 1 an hour for 12 hours. And so I do have a little bit of a start on this, but only like 45 minutes worth of a start. And that is all I have on the tray. So I have the tray done, or I want to finish the tray. It is on 40 count. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm sorry. I'm going to start this, or this is started on 40 count raw linen. And I'm using all of her called for DMC. And yeah, this is cut to size as well. So these trays are not small, even on 40 count. But I will see how long it takes me to finish the tray. This is the top tray. And if I finish this relatively quickly, I might keep going and just work on another part of the tray. So that's one plan. And then my other whip go call was Bluebird of Happiness from Cottage Garden Samplings. It was from her garden series, Songbird Garden series. I also started this during my 12 by 12. And I am doing it on 36 count, picture this plus Regency. And I used 2 strands on 36 count. His bed's right here, so. And that's all I got. So, but this is on the Regency. Let me pull it back. Thankfully this apartment does have windows. We have a patio, and so gratefully I still have natural light, but still not. That's pretty close. It's a very subtle green. I want to go more for the green fabric than the pink fabric so that the pink flowers, the cherry blossoms, really pop off. I'm using all of her called for Weeks Dye Works except for, no, I think I'm actually going to use all of them. Sometimes I'll use her DMC conversion for like if it only has like 5 stitches on it or something, I'll use the DMC. But I think for this one there's enough in each color that you would actually see the variegation. So I think I'm going to use all of her called for. But yeah, so that's all. I started on the bird. My whip go goal for this is to finish the birds in the nest, because I started the birds in the center, and so that's where I'm wanting to start. The needle minder is actually a progress keeper from Molly Klein Designs, and I just stuck a magnet on it. So she has an Etsy shop that I'll tag down below. Sorry if you can hear the car. Oh, it just ended. Okay, good. All right, so that's those are my plans, and then I'm hoping to figure out the colors for patchwork, and then I might get started on that, the blue section. So it may or may not be in my next video, actually, depending on if I can get that figured out fast enough. And then we'll just kind of see where the month takes me. Those, I'll definitely be working on those 2. I don't know about anything else. We'll see. And then I do have haul. So I have finally moved back to an area that has an LNS, a local needle workshop. Dying to Stitch is in Virginia Beach. And a wonderful woman named Kay reached out to me when I had announced that I was moving to this area, saying, let me know if you need, help, figuring out the area. I'd love to, be at Dying to Stitch with you. So I reached out to her that I was planning to go yesterday, and so she met me there, and she's amazing. Kay, thank you so much again for coming with me. She is so knowledgeable about this area, and I'm so grateful. And she actually even told us where to go for 4th of July fireworks to get the best spot. So very, very grateful. Diane IG, it was great just to be back in a needlework shop again with models and floss and fabric. And so I did get a few things while I was there. I got the hands-on design, the summer basket, one of her newer releases, these quilt blocks that are gorgeous. And then I got potential floss for patchwork. It's called Father's Day from Weeks Dye Works. I just thought that could be like a potentially a really good transition blue because it's got the light and the dark, so it might be one of the motifs on the edge. And then I just got some more needles because I need them. I use a size 28 for really small counts, like 46 or 56 count. And then this was kind of more stitchy kindness. My mom, so there's a quilt store, Tiny Stitches, that also has a little corner for cross stitch. And so I think they're planning to expand that more and more. But right now it's, I mean, it's getting to be a good sized corner of the shop, I gotta say. But Mom found this and gave this to me, which has been amazing. It's called the Mini Itty Bowl. And it's a metal bowl that has a magnet on the bottom. And so my table, it's an IKEA side table that is just and it has glass on top, but the sides are all metal. So I keep all my needle minders kind of that are not being used on the edge. And so this just sits right there and I can put my orts in there, which has been great because I have an ort jar actually that Candy gave me, the 614 stitcher. I'll link her down below. She gave me the gorgeous one, but that is like my travel one. I have that and like I change that with the bags that I'm, traveling with. So this one can stay put and just be right there and not have to worry about it. So thanks, Mom. She also gave me a magnet that's also a light. It's called Graphic Impressions. And this actually says it's from uquilt.com. So it's like it doesn't have to be just for cross stitching, but it has palms on it, which are my go-to things now. Monstera leaves and Monstera in general are just like my favorite things. Monstera, hibiscus, the tropical. I just love the tropical so much. So she saw this and thought of me. I have not yet needed the magnifier, but I think there will be a soon day that I do. Staring at a screen for 12 hours a day has not been good for my eyes. So I might need that sooner than normal. And then the last thing is things that you probably have already seen a lot of. I got my fabric and floss from Color and Cotton, Fabric of the Month Club. So in case you haven't seen them yet, this was the June Thread Club, Bing Cherry, Blue Jay. Oh man, that would have been a good one. I think I have one. It's very similar to their Sea Spray. So I have something similar like that already in my patchwork. Cypress Mulch, nice brown. Tuscan Sun, nice golden yellow. And Natural Cotton, nice neutral white. Also, Color and Cotton has a ton on their website and they randomly post, and they will also tell you in their Facebook page like if they have things on their website, like new releases and whatnot. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. And they do have wait lists for everything, but I was able to get like extras of the Floss Club just from their website. So these might actually be available if you're interested. And then this was the May, which I'm sure others have shown. I've actually used one of them, so it's not the full set, but Dark Indigo, which is a little bit more, Chantilly Lace, and Olive Brown, which is like, it's more green than that. It's coming across pretty brown, but Kumquat. That'd be perfect for like a fall pumpkin pattern. And then their June fabric of the month is this really nice, it's called Spacious Skies, and it's this really nice light blue color. So, love that. And I get the 40 count and 32 count, and this time they're actually almost the same. Normally there's quite a color difference, but this time they're quite similar. Let's see. Oh, well, on screen they're coming across as different, but they are actually quite similar. So that's interesting, but yes, so love adding that. I have kind of reorganized my fabric a little bit into like the fabric, the floss, what am I thinking of? The project bags, mesh project bags. And then last but not least, I got two very special things from Mom while we were there. While I was home, she made these two wonderful project bags for me, which I'm super grateful for. One is, they're both relatively patriotic for 4th of July, but this is one of them. We found this fabric together at Tiny Stitches. I went with her one day and we got this wonderful patriotic fabric. And then inside are fireworks, which I think is so fun. And this is actually what I keep forever and ever in right now. So love that. But actually, no, this is not the one I keep forever and ever in. This is what I'm keeping Celebrate 4th of July in, excuse me. Forever and ever is going in this project bag. So Mom had some navy fabric, and then we found anchor and 4th of July, or flag fabric. And so she made me a navy bag. And on the inside are the anchors, but in white. So super love this. And then the little zipper pull is this beautiful anchor. So thank you so much, Mom. So this is what Forever and Ever is in right now. And I love it. So it's nice having a crafty mom. So let's see if there's anything else that I missed. I haven't even looked at my notes this whole time, so I should probably check that just to make sure. But I think that's everything. This is a lot shorter than I thought it was gonna be. I really didn't wanna go too long. Oh, I did miss something. They're in my lap, sorry. I got 2 threads from Hand Dyed by Yolanda. They're my first ones. I haven't gotten anything from her, but I've heard amazing things about her. So I wanted to try it. I came all the way from Canada. One's called Beach House and Moody Blue. So I got these to add to my patchwork collection. They're 25 yards, and it was a good price. So I highly recommend. I'll link her Etsy down below as well. So I think that's all she wrote. Again, I try to keep the life section at the beginning kind of short and sweet. Since so much has happened, I could have gone on an hour just about my life. And if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. I am on Instagram. I'm back on Instagram. I was off for a lot of June just so I could focus and study and everything. I did get the Gilmore Girls summer box, but today is the unboxing. So I've seen pictures and some things that might be in it. I was not able to go to the retreat, the online retreat, because I was at Jess's wedding, but I am excited to look in the box and see what all is there. So maybe next time I'll show some things from the box. I still need to get the pattern from the last box, but this was Summer and Stars Hollow. The Morgan from Honeybee Stitcher, when she showed the autumn one, I fell in love and was like, I have to have that. So I got the next one. The pre-sale went out last December, and I saw that it was for a June delivery, and I was like, perfect, my birthday gift to myself that I bought in December. And it actually came 2 days before my birthday, so it kind of was. David brought it with him to had it in the car last Sunday or for Father's Day, just so I could see the box. But yeah, so I'm super excited about that, to really dig into all of that. But thank you so much to everyone who was constantly sending nice thoughts and prayers and nice well wishes and good lucks, and I really appreciate it. The support was very much felt, and I'm happy to be back. I do have to start studying for round 2. So I take round 2 next June, and that one is for a score, and it's a score that matters. So I'm actually gonna start studying, ease into studying for it starting like the end of this month. But I won't have to get hot and heavy with it again until, next year. So, and then I start rotations on August 1st. So I'm planning to be back by the end of July. I'll hopefully have a lot of stitching to show you, more life to update you on. We'll see what I discover over the next month. Dying to Stitch has a few meetups for Virginia. Well, I guess it's not Dying to Stitch. Virginia Stitcher's Facebook page they have a few monthly meetups. So hopefully be able to go to 1 or 2 of those. And yeah, just kind of, my parents are coming at the end of this month too. So I'll probably do a video after they come. So yeah, towards the end of the month. But yeah, all good things. Life's good, just crazy as usual. So I hope you all are doing really well. I hope the summer has been good for you, or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. I guess half of us are having summer, half of us are having winter. So I hope that June and now July will be good for you, and happy 4th of July to those in the US. Happy stitching, everyone.